All right, let's finish off our biking animation for the wheels. Select both the wheels, hit R, and we already put the anchor point in the middle, so all we have to do is to turn on the keyframe, move in like 2 seconds, add 1 to this number. So it's going to make a 360 turn. And let's have a look at the speed. Okay, the speed is a little fast. Let's add space. Okay, so this is a better look, better speed. Let's do the same thing with these two wheels. Add a looping property on both of them. All right, so the bikes are done, really simple. Let's hit M on those. So now the bikes are going to just move up like so and continue turning throughout our 16-second thing. And the speed is good too. Now let's go on the shadow. What I want to do with the shadow is to kind of move the shadow up and down. So hit S on your keyboard. Make sure the anchor point is in the center of the shadow, right here. Let's turn on, look at the number. So it's 100. Let's go for maybe 80. Turn on the thing. So let's do it the other way. So 100%, turn on the keyframe, come into maybe 2 seconds, just like the upper body. Another 100 degrees. So 100, 100. In the middle, let's add 80. So now it's going to, we hit N here. It's going to kind of like expand and then not expand. Okay, maybe 80 is too much. Let's go for 90. Just a slight bit. So it looks something like this. You can see that it's expanding and then it's not expanding. Just like so. And let's also loop this guy. Alt-click. Go to Property, Loop Out Cycle. Close that. Expand it. So this guy is going to loop as well, which is great. All right, the shadow is done, the background is done. Let's move on to the bike itself. So we're going to grab everything that's related to the person on the bike. So before that, let's make her blink, because we said we want to make her blink. Go on top, just zoom in quite a lot on the face. And we're going to go on the face, duplicate the face. On face 2, let's get the pen tool, select face 2, and we just want to extract. Actually, let's deselect. We want to create a new shape layer with the same color. So get the fill color, add that on, make a new shape, try to like cover the eyes completely. Okay. Fix the sides if you need to. All right, and then on that same layer, let's make another shape so we can just work with it once. All right, connect shape to face. It's a part of the face. Call this blink. And now this is going to move with the character. Move in like a little bit and then hold down Alt and right bracket. Duplicate this a bunch of times. And then we're going to select all except select all. And then move in a few frames. Control click on the first one. We're just like dropping them off. oops, one by one. And again, it doesn't have to be uniform. You can just make some random spots. I'm going to assume that my composition ends at 10 seconds. If you want it to be longer, you just need to duplicate more of these guys. Hit N and we can see her blink. So she blinks like that. And it looks pretty good. Let's zoom out and have a look at it from afar. So she's just blinking. Okay. I'm going to add a few more blinks, maybe 3 more times. Control D. Move it here. Don't need the third one. Create a little space here, and now we should have 10 seconds worth of blinking. There it is, it's blinking like so. Alright, so we did the face. Now we can go ahead and select everything that's related to the bike. That includes the frame itself. Just leave out shadow and background. As you can see, a lot of layers. Right click, recompose, call it maybe bike ride. And now our bike ride, you can see it still has the animation. We're going to make it bounce up and down. So hit P, have a look at the keyframe for the shadow. You can hit U on shadow. So here we're going to make a position. And then when it becomes smaller on the shadow, we want to move her upwards. So she's kind of bouncing up and down. You don't want her to levitate, just a little bit of movements towards the top. Let's copy the first keyframe and paste it here. So she's going to like move up a little bit and then come down. Let's hit N and have a look at its looping. So it's just like a little bouncy movement. As it goes up, the shadow gets smaller, and as it comes down, the shadow gets bigger. Alt click on position, and we're going to do the same thing that we've done a bunch of times. And there we have it. Let's hit M on both of these, zoom out. And now we have our final product. She is biking. Gonna let it render. There we go. She's just biking on a nice day. Alright, an additional element that you can add to spice things up even more. Click on bike ride. We're going to get our puppet pin tool and create a few points. On our character, we want to get, you can see I turned on the mesh, so it gets more complicated as I add points. So on the areas where you don't want her to move as much, you need to put more points. So the hip, the back, the arm, the elbow, the hand, the knee, the leg, all that. We're not going to be moving all of these, by the way. Let's come down, and also you want to attach her to the floor. We don't want her moving around. Alright, so if I were to move one of these, you can see everything else stays in place. Control Z. I think we added the mesh. Go in deform. Okay, so over here, I want to go in 2 seconds. First, let's add a few more. Get your starch pin tool. We can just do that in the beginning of our timeline. Starch pin tool, and just go over the areas where you think you might deform as you are animating. So that would include the back. Just add a few more. We do not want the back to get deformed whatsoever. Also the baskets with the flowers in it. The rod here. The arms as well. Add as many as you think is necessary. Come in down, and I think we're good to go. So what I want to move is actually the flowers. So I'm going to make a point here and here. And we already added one for the hair. So after moving in a few times, we're going to first turn on the mesh stopwatch. I mean, like 2 seconds. Zoom in, and I want to just move my flowers to show that, well, she's moving fast and the flowers need to shake. Do the same thing for the hair. It's the same fluffy hair effect that we did with our other characters. I'm going to like bring it in a slight bit. Let's alt click on this guy and loop this. So it's a really slight movement, but it does add a nice touch. Let's click away. The flowers are moving. And the hair is too. Okay. So our character is riding her bike. Let's move out of here. All right, our character is riding her bike. So you saw this was a bit of a long lesson, but it was all worth it because now we have a flat character riding her bike. So this is how you make looping backgrounds, looping anything actually. When it comes to animations, even if your animation is 20 minutes long, but you want your character to do a certain thing, the loop out property is your best friend because you get to just continue that movement for however long you want by simply looping out that animation. So let's move on to the next lessons and learn more about other types of movement. I'll see you guys there.